You don't have any tattoos either?
No.
I have one.
Don't worry, we'll
Mine was
find
actually free too, and that's what I was laughing about. That mine was free, and it's good.
Yeah,
I got it though because I served a guy free coffee the whole time I worked at Starbucks, and he worked at a tattoo shop.
No, you got it because he wanted to fuck you.
Well, maybe,
Yeah.
but I didn't have
Well,
to fuck him, and I still got the tattoo.
I figured you knew. I just wanted to make sure you
That-
were.
It must be horrible, bro.
that. First of all,
That was in Tampa.
How-
Yeah, it's horrible growing up here.
put the mic in your. How much do you enjoy what you get away with because someone wants to fuck you versus how much you have to give up because someone's just trying to fuck you? Like, there has to be a balance. It's all.
You're saying it's hard being a fucking hot chick.
A Chris Rock bit, one of those bits that as a comic you go, fuck, why did I never think of that? Whereas a hot chick is the same as a celebrity. You get all the free shit, but you also get mobbed and someone sits down. They're not interested in you. They want to fuck you.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because there's people that, like, I'm cool with, I want to hang out with, but then it's like their only motive is to get in my pants. And it's not cool. Like, I can provide myself with beer and drugs and whatever. I don't need someone else to do that for me, and I fuck myself just fine. Like, I at least know that I'm gonna get myself off. But, you know, it is annoying. Like, I can't go out to a bar and just have a beer without someone sitting down. And I had a guy literally sit down the other day and write a Theodore Roosevelt speech in calligraphy. Then he read it to me and asked me out to dinner.
That guy's got game.
No, he doesn't, because I didn't go get dinner with him. Like, he didn't.
And I was with, I don't know if it was Bingo or Renee, but I was sitting at a sushi bar in London where I heard someone talking about Bukowski at another table, and I wrote out something I've memorized from notes from a dirty old man from Bukowski, and I wrote it out long form on a cocktail napkin, and I handed it to her. But it was the opposite. It was one of those things where I go, I'm not trying to hit on you. I'm with a girl, but it looks like I'm hitting on you by writing something out like that. So it does work both ways, where you hate when you have to say, I'm not trying to fuck you, because that's what you say when you're trying to fuck someone too. So, but the benefits you just showed, your free tattoo you got because someone.
Well, but I also gave that guy free coffee and tea for about 6 months.
That guy could afford coffee.
Well, yeah, but I could have afforded the tattoo.
That's what we're talking about.
But there has to be times where it plays into your...
No, it definitely does. I told my dad there was a point where I was drinking like so heavily, and I was like, Dad, even if I want to quit, it's hard because even if I don't have money, and I'm not that way, but even if I don't have access to alcohol, like I can go to a bar and some guy will pay my entire time. Like I could be plastic.
That's why I do comedy.
And go home by myself and fucking not have to deal with any of it.
I go to Denny's and I go, you charge me for the Coke. I'm a comic. Oh, just that's not universal.
No, but it's definitely interesting, and it is a double-edged sword. But I actually took up going on Tinder recently, trying to look for some comedy material. So many people had talked about it, and I was like, maybe it'll be funny. And I've met some of the nicest guys. Like, it's fucked up how nice these guys are. They like don't even invite me back. They pay the bar tab, and I'm like, no, here, take money. Like, here's some Nope, they won't take it. Like, super nice. It's ridiculous.
Like you just set your standards really low before this.
I always have low standards. Like, I'm from Daytona. You got to understand. Like,
yeah, this is my first time here. I've heard this place is horrible, but I've only been in this room and another room and down the block, so I'm all right with it.
It's rough, man. Tell them what the nickname is. Oh, I nickname my pussy the Government Assistance Program for all the losers I help out.
Hey, they're going to get signed to a label soon.
I initial it with the Gap. You know, I'm hoping someone gets some government cheese this month.
First of all, if you're trying to work out material, you better bring that shit back to that late night open mic.
That thing was crazy last night.
I heard there was a fist fight after we left.
Yeah, pretty much right after you left.
Who was it? Andy can't. Andy has a story. There's a fist fight, and then I don't know. I didn't have a dog in the fight.
Ian Perna, he's a local comedian, and another guy named John. And I have no idea what happened because I was out back.
Hopefully, the comic that was involved was the one that brought Sean Rouse to get Shitty Blow and ripped him off.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Anyway,
There were no minorities.
let me get back to the question: would you trade ugly for being treated as an equal?
Yeah, actually I would, because I can provide for myself and I don't need other people offering me food and drink and drugs.
And podcast time.
Well, I mean, you know, I might trade it for the podcast time, but you know, the beer and stuff. I couldn't afford the podcast time with you, I guess, financially, but everything else I got on my.
Well, now that you're shaved. By the way, I haven't even introduced you because I can't remember your name.
Yeah, you keep calling me Becky. My name's actually Amanda Michelle.
Amanda Michelle, and on Twitter?
I'm actually on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not on Twitter yet.
You're not on Twitter
I got to
yet?
get on Twitter.
Well, you probably need a better act. Well, no,
Thanks.
I'm saying when...
Or some
Thanks.
hot
I
pictures.
don't know your act. I don't know your act. If you were established enough in comedy, you'd probably already be on Twitter, but you're new to comedy.
I've only been doing it for 3 years, and seriously for 2. The first year I kind of was just fucking around, and then I was like, you know what, I really like this, and I quit my job and basically just did comedy, and I did a little bit of random work on the side, but lived off of like $4,000 last year and just made comedy my only thing. Wow. I enjoy it, and like I sucked really bad when I started. I'm not saying I'm great now, but there's a point where like I just enjoy doing it, and I'll keep doing it until, you know.
There's video that someone put out and found for me 5 years in when I thought I was good. That's embarrassing. It's horrible. That Hedberg thing.
The video you guys in Minnesota?
Yeah, 95. And yeah, once you think you're good, stop thinking that. And keep trying harder.
Yeah, try harder.
I think that's part of doing comedy, and I think that's why I like it. It's almost like a masochistic thing where you always have to hate yourself, because otherwise you're never going to get better and you're never going to be good enough, because no one else is going to push you, and you're always going to be competing against people.
Say it all the time, but the best comic of my generation-ish, alive comic, Dave Attell, no question, but he hates himself so much, and he still, after 30 years, tapes his sets and listens to them and hates himself. And that's why he's still the best comic. I'd rather be mediocre and enjoy my life. At some point, you go, all right, how much am I giving up to amuse shitheads that are just drunk at the bar? But yes, you have to hate yourself enough to keep trying.
Yeah, you have to push yourself. It's definitely...
Or just stop doing it like I've
This from a guy who's basically stopped doing it and then built a bar to entertain shitheads at his own house on his own property.
Yeah.
In context, it's a little different.
We should every now and then remind people what a shot clog is. A shot clog is someone that you put up with because they're buying drinks. That's why we call it the Shot Clog Podcast, because I'm buying the drinks and luring all my friends over against their will just because there's free booze, and they'll fucking be guests just to drink or watch football. So where are you performing next? Other than... Oh, wait, I was going to say we rape shaved her before.
Yeah, that should definitely make it onto the podcast.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I forgot her name already.
Amanda.
All right. Well, I was trying to get the plug out for her Twitter or Facebook. Amanda Michelle is your
Yes.
Facebook?
Yeah.
So
You're
Doug,
the only one?
No,
yeah,
there's
we're
a
gonna do it.
million.
We'll do that. Doug, why don't you figure out her Twitter handle? She shouldn't leave here without getting a Twitter
Yeah,
account.
we'll figure that out. It's a 10-minute podcast. We can't sit here and brainstorm. Amanda Michelle showed up, slinky dress last night, cream-colored, no underwear.
Yeah, we've already established that she's pretty cute, and then she was in a sea of just ugly dudes, basically. So, I mean, she might not even be that hot. We've only just been around
ladies and gentlemen,
ugly
when we
dudes a
say
few
pretty
days.
cute, it was in comparison.
Relatively speaking.
It was in comparison to
Don't get a
Damon
fucking big
Figler
head about yourself. But,
and every other guy that's trying
but
to
she
boot her.
showed up today in a sleeveless outfit with fucking hairier pits than mine. And it
just like Maggie.
Several of us were really disillusioned.
Yes.
Like, oh.
Like Maggie, the cave hippie woman from the earlier podcast in Bisbee. So I just rape shaved her. I pulled out my trimmers. I went, get over here. We didn't put her in a bathroom because that seemed creepy. We did it in public.
There's a
right here
filthy
in the room.
pile
Right
of hair
in front
right
of
in the foyer.
everybody.
So yeah, we rape shaved her armpits, but she put up with it, and she's a fun gal, a funny girl. The government cheese in your pussy bit you try to work on us. You try to work a bit. Tell me tell me you've never said that on stage.
I have, but
Yeah.
it's
You've never worked bits at the table, lady.
thanks.
There's no professional comics in this town to tell you. You never work bits at the table.
There's no apprenticeship. Like Kyle over there. He's got an apprenticeship.
Yeah, especially when everyone's trying to bang you. You don't say, "Oh, government cheese in my pussy."
Well, that's kind of why I say it, because
That
once
stops
again,
a
I don't want
rape.
everybody trying to bang me.
It'll work.
I figure between the hairy armpits and the government cheese and the herpes, it'll work.
Wait until no one's trying to bang you. Because that's coming. You go, I'd rather be ugly and have a normal conversation. Ugly's coming your way sooner than you think. Because ladies age like hot mayonnaise in the sun. And then you're going to go, wait, no one's trying to bang me. I was kidding about the government cheese in my pussy. Anyone? Anyone is kidding? And then you're like, a lady I will never mention or tweet back to. All right, that's a 10-minute podcast, and she'll know I'm talking about her and still pretend I wasn't talking about her. All right, that's a podcast.